Hey everyone, Pan Bam Richard here, and welcome to episode 9 of the Bomberman Hero playthrough. In the last episode, we finished area 2 of the Death Pyramid, and now we are entering into the final area of planet Kanatia Shrine. First off, we have the hard coaster. Love auto-scrollers? Well, this level is clearly for you because we have a lot of coasters to ride around, and this will be a very long stage because of this. The target score is 6,500 points, as I mentioned, and yeah, I have nothing else to say about this stage. It's probably one of the biggest stages in the game, and unfortunately it is big because of all these coaster tracks that we have to go through. And it's very unfortunate because you have to make sure that you go back and forth from each and every one of them, making sure that you get all of the points. So I actually had to sit down and route and make sure that I have a correct path to make sure that I have all of the collectibles I can get in this stage, because unfortunately there are no enemies that you can include that are part of the whole not being counted for the target score. So you gotta make sure you collect everything and destroy everything. There will be an item that we'll be seeing here, which will be the first of its appearance in this game. And I think it's the only one, because I can't think of this power-up proving to be helpful for any other scenario, essentially. But we'll be getting to that shortly, and it is a power-up that you see in a lot of Bomberman games in the past, but considering how Bomberman acts in this game and how his abilities are, it has a bit of a modified feature in order to complement this game's design. To go into it further over here, it was odd because this game did come out after Bomberman 64, and I was reading one of these magazines that were around during the time that Bomberman Hero came out, and apparently this one person from an official UK N64 magazine said that he didn't like Bomberman 64 over Bomberman Hero. He thought Bomberman 64 was plain, it was boring, it didn't really make much of a good transition, and I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Bomberman 64 is pretty much like one of the better Bomberman games on the N64. Not saying that this game is bad, but Bomberman 64 has the whole like multiplayer mechanics to it, and like still maintains that whole exploration aspect to the Bomberman games, except making it more in the 3D realm. It's one of the better games, better franchises that made the transition over. Alright, I think we're doing good so far. Yes, this is the power-up that I was referring to earlier. It is known as the throwing glove here. Back in other Bomberman games, essentially, you can pick up bombs where you normally can't, but since Bomberman can already pick up and throw his own bombs, what they made to make this a little bit different here is to allow it to fly further based on where Bomberman's standing, but it does make targeting a little bit annoying due to the distance that we have here. But now that we have that, we're going to jump off right over here and make sure we go on this warp over here to take the other path for one of our coasters here. So we got to go back here, so we'll just cut away to where we have to go right here from the very beginning. Okay, so after passing this coaster over here, we're now going to board onto this coaster. And yeah, again, it's more the same, just picking up all the power-ups and whatnot. Unfortunately, I did pick up the glove a bit too early here because I forgot I was supposed to warp first before going to the area and picking up the throwing glove there, which is going to gimp my progress a little bit, but thankfully there is a second throwing glove that we can pick up in this stage here. So everything's not completely lost, but another problem with this stage is that because there are enemies in these coaster rides, outside of the throwing gloves that can help in terms of that, kinda, the exploding radiuses are pretty bad as well. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to hop off over here and pick up any items and activate any switches that we may be missing here. Again, this is a very long level. all for the wrong reasons because of auto-scrolling. You want to make sure that you pick up all the items correctly here, which is why I'm a little bit cautious of how I've been picking up the items here. But what we're going to do now, we're going to use this lift over here by eventually going against the quicksand's current. I don't want to risk sinking into this quicksand, but we all know how quicksand works. There's also a heart container that we could pick up there, but you know what? I actually don't need to go on this lift right now. I could just use this warp to go on this next lift right over here. So we're going to use the right lift here. Lift, coaster, whatever you prefer. And then we're going to pick up the items along the way. I mean, I guess I could use this time to sort of talk about a bit of my Bomberman history. I mean, honestly, I pretty much just started off with Bomberman 64. Hold on, just gotta make sure I get these. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, you're kidding me. There's that one gem that... Okay. We're gonna fast forward. We're gonna cut from that to pick up that gem. Like, I'm gonna get it off screen or something along those lines, but... Yeah, I mean... this level. This level is so great. I love every bit of this level so well. Yeah, so we gotta ride it all the way here. And then, I'm pretty sure... Oh, did I... Wait, we're supposed to use the blue warp right over there. But that's okay. We can pick up some items right over here first before we go to that blue warp, actually. Yeah, that's what I have here. So we're gonna try to kill that enemy there in the meantime, so it wouldn't be much of an issue when we use that lift there, because we will be going back to use that lift soon. Alright. Let's just cut away back to the blue warp here, because this is getting a little bit ridiculous. Okay, now that we're here, we can hop on over here to this blue warp, and of course miss the gem. Great, awesome. And there's our second throwing glove there, and then there's our next shard. Yeah, they throw everything at you. It's a auto scroller that has the shards to pick up. You need all 4 of them to open the door, like we've seen in previous levels, and now we have to go all the way back here. So let me cut away from picking up the 2 gems and warping back here, because this is again absolutely ridiculous. Alright, so now that we're back here, we're gonna use the second lift here and pick up the items from here on forward. So, again, to talk about my Bomberman history, I played Bomberman 64 plenty of times as a young lad, and as well I borrowed Pocket Bomberman from my friend, and I enjoyed that game quite a bit, even though, which is odd, because like, a lot of the games that I played growing up that's related to Bomberman, like Bomberman Hero and Pocket Bomberman, they both involve games where Bomberman can actually jump. A quality he's not really well known for. But, yeah, I've never really had myself exposed to, like, the old school classic Bombermans, like Bomberman, on the NES, Bomberman on the SNES, so on and so forth. While this enemy is pretty bad, I mean, you know, in terms of level design, it's a little bit of a trollish way of, placing enemies here. And I just realized I got rid of my throwing glove there, but I think we should be fine. We're gonna speed it up a little bit so that we could get that enemy and then go to the next warp right over there, because you have to go back and forth in order to get all the items on each lift, pretty much. So, cutting away. Okay, now that we're here, let's pick up the red gem and not miss this blue gem. Okay, so now that we're here, the next thing we're gonna do is grab this shard, and yeah, let's use this lift in order to get the diamond right over there. And I'm noticing that there's another path there that we can use, but I don't recall where that actually comes into play. Actually, I think I remember now. But what we're going to do now, actually, wait, here we go. We're gonna go back and pick up these blue gems right over here. Again, the stage does get pretty confusing. But then now we're going to not use that warp. I meant to use another warp. Be right back. That was a huge fail on my part because I completely forgot we're not even supposed to go on that platform. We should be going into this fountain here that gives us the orange warp to the first Attic Bomb. Yes, there's an Attic Bomb in this stage as well. And a lift here that will bring us to our 1-up, and I think we're pretty much done in terms of riding these lifts. Thank goodness. I mean, jeez, I think we already spent like maybe 10-13 minutes on this stage alone, and a lot of it, well, for myself, it's gonna be cut for you guys, but honestly, it's just constant back and forth that doesn't make this stage fun at all. It's kind of boring for the most part, but oh well. I mean, it's a platformer in the 3D era. I'm not too gypped by what I went through here, but we should be fine from here on forward. We got ourselves all the points I could get in this stage, and all the shards, which gives us 6,550 points. Alright, so next up is Dark Maze. This stage is also extremely technical. The target score is 4,000 points, and we are introduced to a new item here known as Salt Bombs. More on that later. First off, we're going to pick up this bomb power-up over here, and the whole shtick to this stage is to know when to use your Salt Bombs and when to use your regular bombs. Because if you have one and not the other for a particular moment, then you may catch yourself at a hopeless scenario of not getting the 5 rank. So what we're going to be doing first here, we're going to be picking up the gem right over here and hopping over here to destroy this dice block here. And now we're going to pick up our Salt Bombs. Salt Bombs can't destroy regular enemies, they only destroy a particular type of enemy that can't be destroyed by regular bombs. Those enemies being these slugs that you can kill. So you have to destroy everything to get the required points for it, but except for this crate, because thankfully there's an Attic Bomb here. And now you're seeing what I mean for the last episode when they really enjoy these narrow pathways, because having a spike trap there, I mean, geez, they really want you to, like, platform and maneuver yourself accordingly with this system here, and it's a little bit tight at points, but you know, it's not that horrible in the end. It's just fun to get a small little challenge every now and then. So going at the end of this pathway will get us a red gem here, and that's it for the narrow paths. Be careful, Bomberman is a little bit slippery. He might slip off and you'll have to do the whole thing over again, and doing things over again, especially for this level, it's not a fun ride. So next thing we're going to do is kill off all these slugs right over here, and we got to make sure to kill off all the slugs that we can, because we're going to be running into another Salt Bomb power-up here, but this will be the last one that we'll pick up. So we have to make sure not to pick up the regular bomb power-up, because we'll be needing it later to get all the points here. But before we proceed and get that Attic Bomb, we gotta make sure to kill those 2 slugs at the exit there, because once again, this is our final Salt Bomb, and we'll be replacing it with our regular bomb soon. Oh no! Kill those 2 slugs before we go on to the next part here. Oh, great! Yeah, you know, that was smart. That was totally smart. But once again, kill those 2 slugs before you get to the next part of the stage. I don't care how much damage I took, whatever. I don't even know what to say at this point. But in any case, we're going to climb up all the way to the top here to pick up this gem. And that's all of the Attic Bomb just resting there. You can tell by the level of design that the developers probably had a lot of fun making this stage. Yeah, they even put like a bomb power right there, like where you're normally wanting to like move forward. If you pick that up, you're pretty much like kissing that 5 rank goodbye, because there are still some more slug enemies here thereafter, and it's just, man, this stage is certainly, again, like I said, it's very technical, and you gotta make sure to be careful and realize when you should be picking up what power-ups. You gotta be careful with that, and I think those are all the slugs around here in this stage. Now we're gonna be able to use the regular bomb power-up here, so we can kiss this Salt Bomb goodbye, I'm pretty sure. Just don't want to be caught off guard by something. I'm actually going to double check to make sure. Actually, yeah, we're fine. So we're going to pick up this bomb right over here. So now we can't destroy the regular slug enemies, so we'll be using it to open up this box here to pick up its contents. A hard container, very nice. And I think we should be okay, he says with some question in his tone of voice. There should be another box over here, actually. Yes, there we go. And that'll give us our rainbow gem there. We'll just not hop on over. I don't want to risk that because, I don't know, there's still solid ground behind me, but better to be safe than sorry. We're going to use this lift, and then we're going to exit out of here with our 5 rank. Alright, so next up is Mad Coaster. Mad Coaster is not as bad as Hard Coaster, thankfully. It's not as big, it's more linear, but it still has the small little conventions to watch out for. The target score is 4,000 points for this stage here. And yeah, the first part here is all about making sure that you get all of the enemies that come in your direction, or else you're going to be punished by having to go all the way back with the coaster that you're using here. And yeah, I mean, it's just, auto-scroller segments are not fun. I can't think of one person who enjoys auto-scrolling segments, who plays, like, platformers like this. I can't think of one. I don't know of any person who I've met who do enjoy these, like, auto-scroller segments. Nobody likes them, not even the speedrunners. But, in any case, that's the first part of the auto-scrollers that we have to be wary about. What we're going to be doing next here, we're going to be encountering salt bombs again in this stage. So, the salt bombs are actually all the way to the left here. We're going to be climbing up here first, and we got 3 slugs on each side of this altitude here. So, we gotta make sure to destroy all 3 of them, or all 6 of them before... Oh, jeez, what the heck? We gotta make sure to destroy all 6 of them before we pick up our bomb power-up again to destroy regular enemies. By the way, don't destroy this crate until after you pick up the gem. You need it for elevation to get it. I made that mistake and it really hurt. Like having to redo the auto-scroller stuff again at the beginning. But yeah, I mean, just gotta make sure to get that gem right away. We're gonna hop on over here to get to the other slugs, while also jumping over this bomb power, because if we touch it, it will remove our salt bomb. And as well with our 5 rank for this run. So, there should be one more slug right after we kill off that one over there, and there we go. Gotta love the bomb kick. Surprised that the bomb didn't explode within that time frame, but that's not how the bomb kick has been used in other Bomberman games prior. So now we're gonna pick up the bomb power up right over here. Just gonna go all the way down here to make sure I'm not missing any items or collectibles, which doesn't seem to be the case. So now we're just going to cross over this small bridge over here to pick up our gems. Just got to make sure not to fall. And we're going to blow up that box there because it also counts for the points. And then finally we'll be able to destroy this enemy right over here in order to... Oh, jeez, I do not like that gimmick. It completely throws me off. Like that totem pole, it always, no matter what direction it's facing, it would still, like, the projectile will still fire at you no matter how it's facing, so I still get thrown off every now and then. But, yeah, so we have, like, one more auto-scroller here. Not as bad, just gonna make sure to pick up all the collectibles, or else, once again, just like the first part, you're gonna be punished by having to go through it once again. But we should be fine here, if only we had the throwing glove, but again, it only appears in one level, as far as I'm aware. There we go, pick up these 3 gems and kill the 1 totem pole at the end there, which should be the end of our run of this stage with the 5 rank. Alright, next up we are moving on to Move Stone, no pun intended here, but the target score here is 3.5k points, and the whole gimmick of this stage is basically the developers of this game has been reading how block pushing puzzles are like, and thought it'd be a great idea to have that for a 3D platformer. Yeah, I don't get it either, but it does encourage you to make sure to pick up some gems or items that you can only reach by hopping on top of the block, because once they're locked into their positions, as I'm demonstrating here right now, you wouldn't be able to pull them out again. That first block has to go over there. If you put the block right over here, then it will be rejected. So you gotta make sure to put in the right block there, or else you're gonna waste time. That's the only block that has that gimmick, which is alright by me. So we're gonna have to use this block to get that heart power up right over there. So again, very much common sense, a lot of logic, and simple logic that gets into these in this stage design right over here. But it's still a lot of waiting. Like, a lot of this area, like I did mention that they are technical in the sense, like this stage is technical in its own right, where you gotta use the blocks before having to lock them in to pick up some collectibles, but I'm sort of used to that due to other games that I've played, Tales, but yeah, it's just, this one's not as bad as the other ones. You only really get caught if you just like go in headstrong without thinking, unlike stages like Dark Maze, where if you pick up a power-up thinking that you're fine, but you're not in the end because you have to kill some more slugs. That's more so a beginner's trap than anything else than actually using logic. So, okay, thank goodness I was able to dodge that. So, we're going to be picking up this gem right over here before we put in the last stone in its position to activate the exit here. There's our heart, and then we should be able to blow up that bomb there to get ourselves an extra 100. And with the 2 gems and the rainbow gem at the back there, or at the front there, all we have to do is drag this one block all the way to its position in order to gain access to the exit of this stage. Oh, a lot of pushing here. It's kind of odd how like the frame rate goes down quite a bit too while Bomberman is in this animation. I guess a part of it is also with processing the stone being pushed there, but after placing all 4 stones in their correct positions, we'll be done with this level as we go up in style. 3.5k points gives us our 5 rank. Very nice. Alright, and now for the boss of Planet Kanatia, we have ourselves Bomberman here. Bomberman's boss fight is definitely where the difficulty ramps up in terms of boss progression here. The target score is 7,000 points, and how this boss is segmented, there are 3 parts to this boss fight, and the transitions there do take some time, and the second part is does take quite some time, that's for sure. So this will be a bit of an interesting scenario here. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull off the 5 rank on my live run, and then we'll probably see the post commentary in the next episode or something like that, but I'm just hoping that we're able to pull it off. I'm still going to try my best here. So this Sphinx's gimmick is about petrifying you, and that's really dangerous for when you want to make sure you get a very fast time for the boss fight. And yeah, so again, this is going to be a bit of an issue here. We're going to go to Adok. I still don't really know much about the lore, air quotes, for this game, but I'm pretty sure it shares quite a bit from Super Bomberman 3 and the Super Famicom. And poor Princess Million really wanted to see the fight, clearly. But, yes, target score is 7,000 points. The weak points are, it's blue gems, essentially. So you got to make sure to, the hitbox of this boss is on the blue diamonds, on its face and on its tail. So after doing 2 hits, it will now generate this shield from its back, and now you have to hit it from the blue gem on its tail now. So that's its own hitbox, and then that's where it could get a little bit stingy in terms of how precise you have to be. A level 4 explosion would work wonders here, but unfortunately I don't have that due to how I naturally progress through here. And now we're down to, oh geez, that's the move that you don't want to get hit by because he's going to petrify you. And notice how, like, that move takes quite a bit of time to go through the animation. So there's a lot of moments where, yes, you've already lost his 5 rank, so unfortunately we're not going to get in this run here. But ultimately, it's just 4 more hits, and he should be done here. Actually, maybe it's 6 more hits. But he really does, okay, 5 more hits. So he really does hunt you down if you don't know how to distance yourself. But unfortunately, we don't get the 5 rank, only a 4, so we'll be seeing a post commentary. We're gonna be seeing that later on after this episode here. But of course, because we left the princess behind during our battle in Adok, the princess was once again taken to another planet. And while we were able to rescue Piebot, we are now going to move on to Mazone Star. Now with that out of the way, that will be pretty much the end of this episode. Before we end it off, we're going to be shamed with our silver rank here. But yeah, that Bomberman boss fight is very tight in terms of getting the 5 rank. So I'm not really too gypped that we didn't get it that time. So we're going to be finishing off with our bonus stage here. Again, more of these narrow pathways over bottomless cliffs. I still don't get why they give you the fireproof vest. There is no reason for you to be using the bombs in these stages at all. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if only you could carry it over to the next station, that would have proved to be a little bit interesting, considering how you can only access these stages once. It would reward those who do sit down and play longer to actually, it would incentivize the player to actually do, long playthroughs, like, while sitting down and playing. So, oh geez, did I... Well, so much for not getting perfect. In the next episode, we'll be moving on to Planet 4 Mazone. Until next time, take care.